What are courts for?
Courts are there to enforce safety rules. That's what they do. And by that I mean this: we have to trust each other to follow safety rules in this country. For example, a driver who runs a red light and hurts someone has violated a basic safety rule. The same sort of thing happens with engineers that design shoddy products, or a restaurant that serves you poisonous food, or a doctor who's not paying attention during surgery. These are all safety rules that we have to trust each other to rely on. When those safety rules are broken and people get hurt, courts are there to enforce the safety rules. That's what courts are for.
A lot of people say, I'm not the kind of person who sues. What do you think about that?
Well, I hear that a lot from people that didn't have to sue. Look, if your daughter gets run over by a bad driver, or your wife or your son gets hurt by a doctor not paying attention during surgery, you really only have two choices. You can let them get away with it and maybe hurt someone else in the same way, or you can stand up and say, I'm not going to take this lying down. Those are your choices. I think that in this country, as opposed to many, many parts of the world, an average person can sue someone that's rich or powerful, or even the government, and get justice. I think Americans here know they have rights and can say, I'm not going to take this lying down. And I think that's a good thing.
But what about people that say they are against lawsuits?
I hear that all the time. And I think that people that say that don't really understand what happens in lawsuits and what the courts are for. Look, everyone agrees that people should be responsible for their actions. Everyone agrees to that. We teach our children that if you break something or you hurt someone, you've got to make it right. And Americans overwhelmingly believe that. And that's what the courts are for. At this firm, we handle cases where someone has run a red light, or a trucking company has been negligent, or a doctor or a pharmacy has hurt someone and won't take responsibility. It just is not fair that a negligent doctor or an engineer or a restaurant can hurt someone and then not even say you're sorry, let alone pay for the damage they caused. And that's what the courts are for. So the courts at root are about personal responsibility. And I don't think anyone is really against that.
How do lawsuits help people?
Lawsuits do a lot of good. One of the things that I'm most proud of in the work that we do is the help that we've given people, and not just our clients. Almost none of our clients come to me because they are concerned about money. They are all concerned that what happened to them doesn't happen to someone else. They're concerned that the doctor doesn't make the same mistake. The pharmacist doesn't give the wrong medication again. The hospital doesn't have policies and procedures that allow the sort of injuries that allowed what happened to their mother. And our lawsuits change those things. Yes, there's money involved, and yes, we get money for our clients, but the main thing our clients want, and the thing that I'm proudest of them for wanting and standing up and insisting on, is this can't happen again. And over the last 20 years that we've been doing this, I know for a fact that we have saved lives because our clients stood up and said, no more.
How does someone know if they have a good case?
I would say that sometimes it's pretty obvious. If you're a driver and someone has run a red light and hits you, well, yeah, you've got a good case. Or if you have just had surgery and you find out that the surgeon operated on the wrong foot, obviously that's a good case. Other times it's pretty complicated. figuring out from medical records whether a doctor did the right procedure or he did the procedure right, that's something that the average person or even the average attorney just doesn't know. And so to find out if you have a good case in that kind of situation, I think the best thing to do is go find a lawyer that handles that kind of cases and is experienced, and they'll let you know.
What are the main reasons that you decline a case?
Well, declining a case means that we've decided not to pursue it for a client. And we'll do that really in three major situations. The first, of course, is if we review the records and we look at the accident scene or do whatever investigation needs to be done, and we determine that nobody did anything wrong. You know, sometimes an accident isn't anyone's fault. Sometimes things happen to you after surgery and it's not the doctor's fault. So if no one did anything wrong, we're not going to file suit over that. Another major reason we decline cases is if we think that the amount we could get a client in settlement is so small that it's not worth the client's time to go after it. I'll give you an example. Medical malpractice cases are expensive. We put in anywhere from $25,000 to $100,000 in expenses in the case. Well, obviously, no one spends $100,000 in expenses to get a $25,000 settlement. That just wouldn't make sense. So in that case, we would tell a client, this isn't worth your time or your money going after. And then the third reason that we would decline a case is if we thought that for some reason we couldn't ethically take the case, whether we knew the defendant or whether we suspected our client was not telling us the whole truth. In that case, we decline the case.